Hi guys, my name's Callum, General Manager here at Rev-it UK. Welcome to the channel. Thought we'd do a little video on two new pieces of stock. We've got this Ford Focus ST3 in Tangerine Scream, definitely quite a bright colour. 65 plated stage 2 by Euro spec, just over 300 brake horsepower. Got the Miltech exhaust system on it. Nice low mileage in the 30s. This car's around 15,450. So obviously you're getting a lot of, being the ST3, getting a nice spec with it. Getting the full Recaro leather, the sat nav, you have the nice bits and bobs from the factory. And if you spend another 15 grand on top of that, get yourself one of these. This has just arrived into stock yesterday, or the day before. 17 plates, Dream Sign Stage 2, looking around 440 brake horsepower or so. Got the full Mongoose exhaust system, got the sunroof, quite a nice option in these, in probably the best colour as well, nitrous blue, got the OZ alloys on it. So two kind of the best you're going to get in the models. Obviously love the ST3, love the Focus RS, both stage 2, about 15 grand between the two of them. We're going to take them both for a drive, see how they compare, and basically see if it's worth twice the money that one is. So first off, we're just out in the Focus ST. Obviously we get to drive loads of these. I don't really usually like dissect it as much as this, but when you actually do look around the cabin and the feel of it, they actually are really nice quality and material. Obviously the competitors for this, for the money, are going to be like I don't know, an Astra VXR, and I personally would say that the quality on the interior and the materials is actually a lot nicer. A nice chunky steering wheel. Also got the gauges up there which kind of angle towards you, quite driver focused. The spec on it's good as well, got the heated wheel. I'm always cold, so that's good news for me. Got the heated seats, got the nav. The factory standard stereo in these isn't actually too bad as well. Obviously all your usual Bluetooth connectivity and things like that. Actually decent space in the back, so if you did need a little bit more space, I'd probably say you got a bit more than a Golf R or something like that. And obviously the seats are lovely. I'm not sure why kind of other manufacturers like in the Golf Rs and stuff, they wouldn't from factory give you things like this, because it does make it feel a lot more premium, and they do hug you in quite nicely. But we'll take it up onto the top road now. We'll do a few pulls in it, see how it feels. Obviously around 306 brake I think, so by today's standard it's not crazy power, but it still should be on par with kind of like a standard Golf R. Being manual, you don't always get that kind of sense of speed, but I think you can definitely tell it's got a little bit of poke there. But we'll take it up onto the top road now and see what we think, eh Sam?
Yeah, let's go.
So we're just on a little bit of a more open road now. I haven't drove manual for a while, so it might be a bit jerky. But we're in third gear, doing around 50. I'll just plant it. A little bit of kind of torque steer. It picks up alright, doesn't it, Sam?
Yeah, it's good, yeah.
I think because we drive so many fast cars here, you're kind of spoiled by like how fast some cars are. So say someone coming from maybe like a standard, I don't know, like Fiesta ST, it's probably going to feel quite quick. This, you can definitely tell that it's got some nice shove. Even at the start of the next gear, you've got a nice bit of torque as well. But yeah, it feels nice. I mean, my everyday car's an M4. So obviously it's stage 2, you've got quite a bit more power than this, but the actual interior quality and feel of this is actually really nice. Like, I think for the money, these are really good cars. You've got the factory spec, it's the ST3, as you mentioned earlier, is like, it's everything you'd need in a car like this. This one, one of the best colours, stage 2, got the Miltech exhaust. It's really, for 15 grand, I don't reckon you get something 38k on the clock, 65 plate. I don't reckon you get much really. Your comparative Golf R for 15 grand is going to be a bit of a bin. With the leather, with the nav, with the nice bits and bobs, you're going to be more like 17, 18 grand, aren't you? Yeah,
for a top spec car, it's a lot of car for the money.
Yeah, definitely. Do a few flybys, see how it sounds from the outside, obviously with that Miltech exhaust. And then we'll go and flip it into the RS, see how that feels. I've also got an extra 130, 140 brakes, so I'm expecting quite an increase in that. Get quite a nice noise in the cabin as well from the Miltech. Little blow off valve there, Fast and Furious vibes. Just need the NOS, boot your head back. I think you wouldn't have to take this all the way through the revs to get that power. So it's quite a nice kind of band of torque in it, so you wouldn't have to always wring its neck out to kind of get where you need to be, which is always good. But just coming back into the estate now, we'll swap over with the RS and see how that goes. So here we are now in the RS. First off, there's not a huge difference inside, is there, Sam?
No, not much at all.
The wheel, pretty much exactly the same. Obviously all the head unit, all the gauge up there, exactly the same. The two kind of initial things, well, the three things that are huge differences in this. Got the sunroof, so obviously it's quite a nice feature to have in the summer, like we're in now. It's got the Sony speakers in it. I haven't really tested them yet, but I'd like to think they're going to be a little bit better, I guess, kind of like the Bang & Olufsen or the Harman Kardon in kind of Audis and BMs. And you've got the switchable drive modes down here as well. So if those of you don't know, with these you've got the drift mode, which is kind of a little gimmicky thing, obviously 4-wheel drive, but kind of makes it slightly more rear bias, so you can have a bit of fun. But overall inside it's very, very similar to the ST, so I don't kind of think by having the ST you're missing out on a huge kind of interior feel. Obviously some of them, the RS, are spec with the shell seats, which this one doesn't have, which obviously some people would be like, oh well, the spec's a bit shit, but personally I think these seats are quite a bit comfier. The shell ones are obviously a bit more aggressive and will suck you in a little bit more, but these definitely have kind of more comfort and a bit more padding with them, so there's kind of pros and cons to each. Obviously if it's just a weekend car, you want it for a bit of fun, the shell seat's probably going to be the ones for you. But if it's going to be your daily and you kind of want something with a bit more comfort, then I think you can't really go wrong with these seats. They hug you in quite nicely, don't they, Sam?
Yeah, they're not bad, to be honest. If anything, I'd say the ST seats are a bit comfier.
Yeah, because these aren't the full leather, are they?
No.
Obviously you've got the leather outers, but then the inside, and what even would you say the edge? It's not like suede, it's like silk or something.
Yeah, it's like fake Alcantara or something.
Yeah. Do a few little pulls, see how it feels. Obviously we're hoping that it's going to have quite a bit more kick. You'd hope so with over like 100 and, what do we say, 140 brake more potentially. Not sure on the torque figures, but it's going to have a fair bit more. It is quite a bit louder, isn't it, to be fair, even just cruising about. But yeah, we'll go to the top road now and see how it pulls. So I've just flicked it across into sport mode. Just pulling out of that roundabout, you can tell the steering feels a lot heavier than the ST, to be fair. But we're just in third gear, doing 50, let's give it a little pull. Definitely quite a bit more aggressive, isn't it, to be fair, than the ST. Obviously 4-wheel drive, so you haven't got that initial kind of bit of wheel spin, bit of torque steer, just plants, just goes. But yeah, you can definitely tell it's got a lot more power than it. But would you say it's night and day? Would you say it felt a lot quicker?
No, I wouldn't say so.
We'll give it another go, see how it feels. Obviously that was just a third gear, not really taking it all the way, because obviously we're selling these cars. We're not like all the animals on officially gassed and living life fast, just absolutely ruining the cars, just giving them a little bit of a pull, see how they feel. But third gear again, quite instant the power, to be fair, in comparison. And again, got up to 70, no problem there. It felt a bit quicker that time, it's quite a bit more. So
it felt like an end.
Yeah, it's more instant. I'd say the power puts it down quite a bit nicer. And like you say, in the higher bit of the revs, you've still got quite a bit more to give, whereas maybe the ST trailed off a little bit. When you're on a track, or you're kind of really pushing on in a set of lanes, I think you're going to notice quite a big difference with obviously 4-wheel drive. The extra kind of aids I imagine this is going to have in terms of helping you around the corners, obviously, especially with, you've got the sport mode which you're in now, then you've got, I think it's the track mode, the next one up. Yeah, race track and then drift mode. Obviously we're on the road, so we're not going to be too silly and be putting it in drift mode, sending it round this roundabout here, probably end up in that fella's digger, the builder's there. But I remember we went to Anglesey on a track day, and there was one of these, and he was having a whale of a time in drift mode. Made him look like absolute Ken Block around that track, sideways everywhere. But I think literally all you do is you just plant the accelerator and just steer, and it just does it all for you. But I'm sure people won't tell you it's that easy. Make out with some amazing driver. But pulling out again, so that was third gear still. Does pick up well, doesn't it? Just leave it at that speed there. But you can definitely tell it's got a lot more power. When you let off, it's a lot more aggressive, like when you let off. But I mean, they're both good cars.
Yeah, definitely.
But would you rather the ST and 15 grand or this?
I think I'd still choose this.
Choose this, yeah.
I think it looks better.
The looks on this are mega. Like, the ST looks lovely, doesn't it, in that colour? Yeah. As far as ST goes, I don't reckon...
It's the best looking ST, but it's never going to be an RS.
No. I think, obviously, when you're in the RS, you kind of know that you're never going to pull up against an ST and be like, oh, I wish I bought one of them. Whereas in the ST, you may pull up against this and be like, kind of feel a bit like, oh, I should have bought one of them. But on the flip side of it, you could have 70% of the fun and save yourself 15 grand. We'll try it around this roundabout here. Little backfire there. Back end flew around a little bit there, caught us by surprise. Definitely more fun on the bends, this one, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Probably tell by my smile. That wasn't even in drift mode, unless I've left it in drift mode.
Hope not.
That was just in sports, but you'd never get that in a Golf R or an S3, would you?
Nah, you would have been in that head straight on.
Just be understeering into a tree in one of them. Right, so we're just back from the drives, both these cars. Obviously there's quite a big price difference between the two. When we first went out on this one, wasn't really convinced, but the more we drove it, especially on kind of a little bit around the roundabouts and that, you can definitely tell that on a track or a nice set of B roads, you're going to be having a lot more fun in that. And I do think you will be a lot faster in that than that. Obviously the colour, if you can kind of pick it up on the camera in the sun, is absolutely stunning. It looks like a flat colour from quite afar, but when you're up close in the sun, it's got a real nice kind of metallic and kind of sparkle to it. But coming back to the ST, again, the paint looks stunning in the sun. The initial drive of them both, there wasn't a huge bit in it. This has got plenty enough power, be the perfect everyday car, and it's probably all the car you'd ever need. But if you were kind of pushing on and just kind of want to be a bit of a hooligan, get the back end out and kind of set some like real fast lap times, or just kind of keep up with some serious cars, I think, in some B roads, that would be the one you'd go for. Obviously there's about 15 grand between them. Not many people buy the cars cash these days, it's all kind of finance, so there's probably not going to be a huge difference in terms of monthlies between the two. That's probably going to be around 300. That's probably going to be with a half decent deposit on a PCP, high 400. So is it probably worth about 180, 190 quid a month more? Probably. I'd probably say it is worth a little bit more because you would have a lot more fun in it. But the fact that it's so close kind of between the two shows how good of a car that is. We'll put the links to both these cars in the descriptions down below. We're always getting bits and bobs like this in. These are holding really strong money at the moment. Obviously the Mark II's market's gone through the roof. But I don't think these are on the same ballpark as that. But we were selling ones like this, maybe like 3-4 grand less, maybe like a year and a half ago, whereas we can't even buy them for that now. So definitely a good kind of car to get into if you want to be able to have a car to enjoy and not lose silly money. Same with these are holding nice money. But yeah, links for both the cars down below in the description. Thanks for watching. We're going to do some more reviews shortly. Let us know in the comments what you want us to do, maybe some more trade-offs like this. And then, yeah, see you soon.